Hello, everybody, and welcome to this second stop on our tour of Italy. And we're gonna have a little bit of stage fright, guys.
Ooh, creepy, scary.
I was thinking of that all day today. This is now it's going to be. Did I screw up what Jason told me how to pronounce his name? Is Michele Soavi, sometimes known as Michael. We've had a movie that not only was made by Michele Soavi, but also starred some of the people in this too, and that was Cemetery Man way back, somewhere in the 70s, I believe, was when that one was. Our episode number, not the decade, because. Anyway, We're off to a great start.
At first, I thought this was Michele Bianchi, but no, it's Soavi.
Well, who's Bianchi?
The dude who made Burial Ground.
Oh, well, we had that too.
On our first trip.
Yes. So anyway, this is a little bit less your classic giallo, like last week and next week.
Yeah.
This is a little bit more slasher, like straight slasher influence. In fact,
it's not Michaela, it's Andrea. I'm sorry. Just in case somebody tries to see, I have stage fright.
You're going to get corrected. You're going to get corrected real hard on the internet. Someone's going to hate on you and call you a bad name.
I know. Yeah. I know that guy. Our biggest fan on.
Anywho. Don't give him any airtime. Go ahead.
Well, he could be an actual fan, though. Anyway,
yeah, that's true.
He just is very, very, very commenty. Anyway. So this is 1987. Soavi had been an actor. He had done some assistant directing work. He was an assistant director on several Lucio Fulci films, which is awesome. Jason can't wait until we come around to Lucio Fulci month at some point, I'm sure.
Oh God,
we doing that?
No. No, it's kind of funny. Everybody, here's some behind the scenes stuff here. So we told Chuck, hey, you will curate the trip to Italy too, because he'd been wanting it. He was so excited because I would argue it was that very magical first trip to Italy that Chuck said, like, hey, I kind of want to do this all the time now. And we're like, you know what? We shared in that magic. Yes. But then I was like, hey, what do you think of Stage Fright? And then Jason was like, oh, whatever, fine. I get veto power. So Chuck chose none of these movies ultimately.
No. You also gave me the shortest month possible for films. Jason gave up his veto power originally because he wanted a movie and veto power.
No.
That's definitely what it sounded like. It's
That's
funny.
Not
it's
true.
It's just a funny thing. But yeah, we are doing one of Jason's and one more of mine. And this, obviously, Jeff is.
Yeah. So this is.
Well, I feel like Raiders of Atlantis is our last one, and that was a joint pick.
Sure. I'll allow that. I definitely wanted to do it too.
I suppose. But anyway, was this the first time watch for the two of you?
Yes.
Okay. I've seen this movie several times. But anyway, back to what I was saying about Soavi. He was an actor and an assistant director for a little while. Before he actually became a director, the first thing he ever directed was a documentary about Dario Argento. Then he did a short film, and then he did this movie. However, he is extremely connected to the Demons movies of the mid-'80s.
Me for imagining you were going to say the Mafia there. Like, totally thought you were going to say he was connected to the Mafia.
Well, that's racist against the Italians. Against the Italians. Well, you
just throw it out there.
You're going to say that all he does
well
is
connected to the Demons movies.
This episode sucks already. Anyway, anyway, go back to eating your spaghetti at this Olive Garden we found in Italy.
Hey,
Because we're family. Anyway, so after so like he was actually in the first Demons movie. He was the guy who wore that half mask handing out tickets to the movie that was possessed by demons.
Okay.
He's also in this movie as young cop. There's a pair of cops that are right over there the whole movie.
He's the guy who thinks he looks
James
like
Dean?
James Dean,
Yep.
yeah. So, but he also the next two movies he made after this was The Church and The Sect, which are both known as Demons 3 and Demons 4. So he is in tight with the demon mafia.
Yeah.
But he was also in other movies like Absurd, which was the sequel to Anthropophagus. He was in City of the Living Dead, which was the first of Fulci's trilogy of the Gates of Hell movies. He's also in Raiders of Atlantis later this month. So there you go.
Trip to Soavi month is more like it, huh?
That's right. But I found the most interesting credit on his filmography is that he was the assistant director to The Brothers Grimm in 2005.
Oh, interesting.
Which was a fairly big budget movie. It had Matt Damon and
Heath Ledger, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. So so he didn't just make little horror movies, and of course Cemetery Man is fantastic. Has like the best kick-ass angel of death that you ever did see in a movie. Anyway,
there was one more Demons connection too here. There's Simon Boswell, who did the score for this movie, Stage Fright. He also did the score for Demons 2 for who directed 2? Bava?
Mm-hmm.
Lamberto Bava. And Demons 2 wasn't his first score. Phenomenon was for Dario Argento. But Demons 2 was kind of the first score he was kind of given carte blanche to do whatever he wanted to do.
Nice.
And it really, he kind of credits it for launching his career. And then obviously, what's his face? Soavi picked him up for Stage Fright because that was his next score after Demons 2.
Yeah, and so it's kind of funny. I have a feeling that you weren't far off on that mafia thing. It was Demons was kind of such a collective, and if you were making Fulci movies, you were busy because Fulci was cranking them out. So Soavi was in good with a lot of people. I should say that I believe it's The Church. I'm pretty sure it's The Church that starred like a 14-year-old Asia Argento. So like he was obviously pals with Dario Argento, and
I think she's in Demons 2 as well, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have anything to do with that. So outside of picked up the score guy.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. So this is I like that this has something that I had mentioned in the previous episode with Blood and Black Lace, is that this is kind of taking place someplace where you wouldn't expect these kind of things to happen, right? Like this is this is a theater, this is a place where people are working on a play, and I had kind of mentioned that one of the things that I kind of like about these types of movies are that they tend to happen in places that you wouldn't see death and mayhem and murder and all of that stuff. It's one thing for like a neighborhood, like in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, or out in the woods, like in the Friday the 13th movies, to kind of have some sort of dirty secret or a madman roaming about killing everybody. this is in a place that, much like the fashion house last week, it kind of has that same, this isn't supposed to happen here. What is this? And so I kind of like that because it is very centralized, but yet still has a shit ton of characters running around.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because you'd think it'd be very constrictive, which in ways it is. Like the way that you can do the story is kind of constricted because it all takes place in one place, but it's also, it makes the action have to happen really quickly.
Yep.
Which is good for this movie, I think, for things to happen fast until the end, which we'll talk about later, which is kind of long, really.
Yeah. The third act is the longest part of the movie, but I also think it is the most classically tense. Whereas you're not just having a guy going around showing up and killing somebody on the spot, but there's a chase element to it.
It's pretty impressive, really. Honestly, yeah. I like it quite a bit at the end of this movie.
Yeah. So
not to let the cat Lucifer out of the bag or anything.
The third act saves this movie for me.
Well, that's just flat out wrong, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and let you explain that.
I think that the problem I have with this movie is that to get it to this place in the stage in the theater there and to keep it all contained in this theater, you have to write a lot of convenience, and that's something that the previous movie didn't have as much of. It made more natural sense that these things were happening at the fashion house than it does here at Stage Fright. In the first act, it's really frustrating because there's really simple fixes here that they could have done to make this work better, but they had to get the killer to the theater, and the way they did it was the sloppiest possible way.
It's kind of funny.
I think, Jason, you have not yet realized we're in Italy. So you're going to have to let some of those normal conventions go, bro, because you're in a fucking Italian movie, man.
It's kind of crazy though, because it's so simple. It's such a simple fix. And I don't know why they wrote it the way they wrote it. It makes no sense.
Probably because of Halloween or something like that.
Yeah,
all right, let's just get into it.
Okay, well, I was gonna answer your question, but it's like you got 90 minutes worth of film, and
Jeff
this is Italy.
Happens. Jeff's gonna tell us what happens, and then I'm gonna tell you what the fix is.
All right. Well, anyway, so the movie starts with what appears to be like maybe a hooker being killed, but then a dance number breaks out, and there's a man in an owl mask. And this is practice for a play called Night Owl. I personally would like to see this play.
Yes, I want to see that play more than this movie.
It's kind of Jack the Rippery. So
it kind of is, but we
with
find
Marilyn Monroe blowing on the sax.
Yeah, you got sexy saxophone Marilyn Monroe. You got dead hooker comes back to life to sniff the owlman's crotch. You have a black cat running around named Lucifer. And there's graffiti on one of the buildings that just says street.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so bonkers. This is like the play that John Travolta's in Staying Alive. It's just fucking nuts.
And it's produced by Dollar Store Paul Sorvino.
Yeah, so there is an investor. He's quite nervous because the movie opens the play opens in a week, and nobody is ready because the director is a maniac. He is your classic uppity bitchy stage director, and I think you almost instantly want him to die, and he dies the best. He does die the best. He does die the best. Not to jump ahead.
I swear to God, whoever created the character Dick Tremaine in Twin Peaks had to have based him off this guy. Like it had to be.
That's funny.
It's way too close.
That's funny.
But yeah, so like the investor is like, hey, you keep changing the script, you keep adding all of the sexual stuff to it, which that's all we ever see of this play. We don't see any story. We see girls dancing around and they get killed, sometimes literally, sometimes for real. But then during this kind of rehearsal and everything, you start to see everyone has these little quirks and relationships with one another. The owl man, who is played by Giovanni Lombardo Radici, who's in some fucking bitchin' Italian movies. Like he's
connected to demons too.
Yeah.
With a name like that.
Right. No, he was in Cannibal Ferox. I can't remember. I think it's Ferox that he's in.
Cannibal Apocalypse and Ferox and City of the Living Dead and House on the Edge of the Park.
Yep.
He's in a lot of them.
Yes. Yeah. He's still working to this day.
He was in Gangs of New York.
Yes. And he also played a preacher in the remake of The Omen. So he's been around and he's done some stuff. But anyway, he is, let's put this as tenderly as we can. He's super gay. He is playing it cartoonishly gay.
He reminds me of the dude from Airplane who pulls out the plug and says, "Just kidding." It's almost the exact same play on the gay character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He is he kind of has a relationship or at least a he's friends with this one character in the play who wears a crazy red-haired wig, who is one of the maybe hookers who dies in this movie. And apparently that's I believe it's Laurel who that character is.
Yes, the one with the crazy like fake tits.
Yes.
Is she the one with crazy fake tits?
Yeah, when she gets changed into a more sexy outfit, she has the
that's right. Her Cinderella
not
outfit.
Real fake tits, but
yeah, but she also got a fake shape. She's got like a belly too. She's the Cinderella of this play, which again, I want to know how all this fits, because you got Marilyn Monroe on sax, you got Cinderella roaming around, and you've got what I assume is meant to be, I don't know, something like out of Dracula with the Corinne character. Corinne was super hot, especially when she was wearing those big nerd glasses. Anyway, that's how I remember all these people, is like I have to connect the dots to what crazy character they're playing.
Right.
But Alicia is our main star. She's the hooker that apparently died at the beginning. And she is really worried about her watch. Don't worry about why. That watch means nothing, except for it gets left behind a lot.
It's expensive. That's it.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Watch. Yeah. So she needs to find her watch and her purse. She also she's got a twisted ankle. And her friend, Betty, is not an actress. She's just a stagehand. But she agrees to take Alicia to a doctor. But what's the first doctor that they go to?
Okay. First of all, they look it up in the yellow pages. She looks it up in the yellow pages. She's like, this will work. And she rips it out. This will be great. I'll take you. And Alicia is still wearing high heels for whatever fucking reason. She's a bum ankle and she's wearing high heels. Perfect sense. They go. They're not allowed to leave though. So Alicia has to sneak out the side entrance.
The service entrance.
The service entrance. And who's
Willie?
The guy Willie? He runs the theater.
Willie is fantastic.
Willie's the shit.
He's like the theater manager or whatever.
Right. He doesn't manage shit except for a mop. Trust me.
He manages shit.
Oh, he does.
Between the eyes.
He manages shit right between. Yeah, damn it. Just like you said, Jason.
Yeah.
Yep. Just like I said, Chuck, right between the eyes.
He's not managing anything there. He's the janitor.
But I love it because they ask him if they can leave through the service entrance, and he's like, "Well, my cat I got to get my cat." And they're like, "Wait for your cat. Just let us out." And all I had to do was open the door, and he's got a key that is not really hidden, but that everything in this theater locks from the inside, by the way, and you can't get out, right? So he had to unlock this for them, and then he said, "Put it back when you're done."
No, you can get in with that key.
Yeah.
And he says, when you come back, you have to make sure you lock that door because he doesn't check that nightly. He's not managing anything, Jason. He's just hourly worker, man. He's working for about $5 an hour. He's not going to check that fucking back door. God damn it. It's not his job.
It's not his job. He doesn't care. But
he does own a gun.
But he's the only one that can let him out. Anywho, they go take the car, and they go and they drive up, and they're walking up, and the shot is from inside the building, and you can clearly see that it says psychiatric hospital. And this is where my brain starts to break. I'm like, what? I look at Susan, it's like what? Why did they go in here? What? And then the script makes note of it, and the character says, well, wait, where are we going to a psychiatrist? And the woman who found this place in the Yellow Pages, Betty says, oh, well, they're doctors too. What?
True.
What? I guess it's true. Okay. So they go inside, and
well, wait though. They go inside, and the front desk nurse is having none of this shit.
Yeah, she's like, what? We don't like treat broken ankles here.
The only way you're getting in here is if you're crazy.
As if you're crazy, yeah. Which at that point I say out loud, I think maybe they are for coming here in the first place. So maybe admit them, right? But then a doctor comes out, and they're two lovely ladies, and he's like, well, I can treat you. Sure, okay. So he takes them to his back office, and he's caressing Alicia's leg.
No, not just leg. He's all up on the thigh and the ankle. Yeah.
And then he says that should kill the pain for about 3 to 4 hours. What did he do?
It's tantric.
And then she gets back in her high heels, and they walk out.
Well, you missed one thing.
There's a really important thing you missed. Before she gets treated by the healing hands of Dr. What's-His-Face. Chuck.
Oh, sure.
She sees Irving Wallace behind a cell door.
Yeah.
There's a whole this is the whole reason we're here. Is so that we can introduce us to the killer of the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
All right. You know how we fix this? Here's how we fix this. She doesn't look it up in the Yellow Pages. Betty doesn't. Betty says, I've been seeing this psychiatrist. I know you don't have money for a doctor. I bet you he can do something for your ankle. Let's go see him. So they go to him. Turns out Betty has become the obsession of this guy in the psych ward because she's there a lot with the doctor. That's the reason why the guy decides to break out, is to get her, right?
But then you need to make Betty the stagehand.
Exactly.
The lead
That's
star.
Exactly right.
That ain't gonna work with a movie full of actors.
But it doesn't matter. You just got to get him there, which is what happens.
Yeah. Anyway, so he hitches.
You can even kill her. But they're all locked in at that point.
Anyway, he hitches a ride with them in the back seat.
It's fixed.
And then he kills Betty. So yeah.
Sorry, I muted myself. Pickaxe to the fucking mouth.
There's some good kills in this.
That's a good kill.
That's a good kill. That's
a real good kill. And then she crumples backwards. And then she crumples backwards like her legs are broken. And it's like they might have actually broken her legs for this movie.
Yeah.
I say good job.
I do say
Jason says meh.
That's a good kill. But I do have one thing here because Allie goes back in.
Yes.
And she basically gets fired at that point for leaving
because she was called when she was gone, which she should have known was going to happen. This guy is a crazy person.
She got called all the names.
That's
what that joke kind of made me laugh a little bit.
Right.
Joke. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like,
Every name
oh, was I called?
Every name in the book.
Yep. But she gets fired, right? And then she's supposed to pack up her shit and leave. And that's when Willie tells her the cat's name is Lucifer. And she hears the cat, so she goes to look for the cat before she leaves, and she finds Betty dead.
Correct.
So she goes back in and screams bloody murder.
And then the cat scares her in the car. It's the classic cat attack cliche.
Well, that happened to Betty before.
Yeah.
Oh, before she got killed?
Yeah.
What the hell was the cat doing in the car then?
It
walked in when Irving Wallace left the back door to open. I'm sure.
He left the hatch open, and so the cat jumped in.
Yes.
Now she also had the key, which means that when she crumpled up like so many Legos that you kick over, I don't even know what that means. She dropped the key into the mud, and you're told at least 3 more times that key is getting mudslid. Well, it's getting buried by the storm outside.
No, Irving Wallace picks it up, man.
Did he?
Yeah, that's how he locks the side door, and that's how the key is.
He has to. How did he get inside?
Why did they keep showing the outside then?
Why did when the there's a lot of whys in this chat.
Why did when
remember we're in Italy.
The power got cut, and then all of a sudden it wasn't cut.
Well, he had to do a thing.
He uncut it. He uncut it.
He cut it, and he's like, "Shit, I can't see now. I'm wearing this fucking hell mask."
They're like all getting candles, and then they're in the dressing room, and it's perfectly lit.
Yeah. Here's a legit stupid thing, and my only real gripe. Well, not my only real gripe, I guess. But Allie gets fired, right? She screams bloody murder. If I can
literally
if I can tell the abridged version of this, the producer and the director basically contrive a plan to move the play up 3 days so that they can use the death of Betty to bring in audience, right?
Correct. Because when the reporters and the police came, director Peter, because he's a dick.
Yeah, Peter the dick.
Yeah. He calls over a journalist and plants the seed that Betty was an actress, not just some costume lady. She's a costume lady. And so he thinks that solves not only the investor's problem, that he's concerned that nobody was going to show up for this play, and it also launches him into what he would perceive as, wow, he made a great play out of one of his people dying, and he gets all of the information about Irving Wallace to then change the story with a week to go that the Owl Man is now Irving Wallace.
3 days. Now 3 days.
Well, that's true. That's true. 3 days now.
But here's my gripe. I have to say this. Why the fuck does Allie stay? She's been fired. Why is she even asked to stay in the building?
Well, so
there's
with
no
this,
reason. You can't.
There's not
that.
Really, but because there's something that's kind of out of order here, because he brings everybody inside and they all are kind of commiserating, right? And I assume that that's why Allie goes back in, because she doesn't have. That's not her car. She doesn't have a car.
Yeah, she was getting into the car next to it when she heard the cat.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I think she just forgot her watch.
It was,
she's looking for her watch.
Definitely she forgot her watch.
It's just stupid that she stays in there. It's stupid.
Well, she should have just left right then, but I think she was commiserating with the other people in the play. And then that's when Peter tells Corinne to lock up all the doors and hide the key, because he's going to force them to work all night.
Yep.
Which is not a great play will make. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
But so Corinne does that, and then And then she goes onto the stage, or she's going to get ready for her scene, which apparently is some sort of Dracula-like scene, is the only thing I can assume. That's what I just assume when there's a woman in bed that's going to be preyed upon. There's some sort of Dracula scene.
Yeah.
So it's at this point. So they agree. It's like, okay, I guess we're going to work all night. By the way, Irving Wallace was an actor who went crazy and chopped up 16 people.
Yes.
So that should be well known because he's going to chop up about another 8.
Yeah.
Before this is over. But anyway, so so basically, where am I at my notes here? So Laurel goes to
get into something more sexy.
Correct, because she now has Alicia's part.
Yeah.
So she's got to change out of her goofy big boobs, big belly outfit into sexy. While she's doing that, she hears something, and outside of the little changing room that she's in, the door handle jiggles, and she expects it to be Brett, because her and Brett are always fucking with each other.
Brett's a jokester.
Brett is a jokester. When she screams, it scares off the whoever was messing with the door. All of the play people come in, and she's like, Brett, you fucking asshole, you're being a weirdo. And he's like, it's not me, I swear it's not me. I can't find my costume. Now I think this is a cool shot in this movie.
It's a very cool shot,
because he ends up going and he finds his black leotard, and he bends over to start putting it on, and Irving Wallace and the owl.
It's actually better than that, because he introduces himself as Irving Wallace, and then he takes a bow.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's really cool because he takes a bow, and then the killer is right behind him. Sorry to interrupt there.
No. So now Corinne is preparing for her ballet Dracula scene, and what they think is Brett, who's like the director's calling him every name in the book now, to get him to come out. And he kind of comes out, and he's like, killer, that's what you're supposed to do in this play. Kill the sexy girls. And he's like, all right, cool. I'll just do what my director says. And he starts strangling her. And then he has like a little knife, or a little, it is a knife, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's like, what's that knife got to do with anything? Which is kind
of he's like,
funny.
Whatever, just keep going. This is going to be awesome. And Alicia's like, that's not Brett.
Yeah, that's not Brett. He's going to kill her for real. We need to stop this.
And they don't. And she dies. Now, I will admit that if anyone runs after Owlman, you're going to get to the end of the movie a little bit faster. We're only about 30 minutes in. So you can't do that. You can't do that yet. So they, and they're like, oh shit, we got to get there's cops that have been posted right outside. Marlon Brando and James Dean.
Love it.
Yeah. So they're outside, and they're like, go get the cops. We got to take Corinne to the hospital, because she is bleeding out bad. And that's when they realized, oh, all the doors are locked. And Peter's like, oh yeah, that's because I told Corinne to hide the key and lock all of you assholes in here. So they start grabbing her by the face and head and things. I'm like, where'd you put the key?
Yeah, she's dying. And Ferrari, the producer's like grabbing her by the face and shaking her.
He probably actually did more to kill her at that moment than what Wallace did. So she dies in front of everybody, and and then really after that, so like they have to find the key. 2, they have to find the guy who killed her. 3, they need to protect themselves. But 4, Ferrari's like, I'm taking the money and running.
Well, first they have to get candles, right? And they're all supposed to stay together, and they go to get candles, but Ferrari's like, I can't leave this money laying around. So he tries to stuff it into his suitcase, and it doesn't fit. And then he hears a clank, and he's like, okay, I'll just put it all in my pocket. And everyone's like, where's Ferrari? What a dumb fucking name, by the way, Ferrari. But
not Italian at all.
No, it's just that I guess because it's Italian, if Americans named him Ferrari, it'd be dumb. In this case, I guess it's not. I don't know why. But it just alluded to money to me, and I'm like, we don't need that.
Everybody else has Americanized names too.
Well, yes. I don't know if this. I have never watched. I've never seen this movie in Italian.
So, I don't think this. I have the feeling, because I was going to mention this later. This movie is the least Italian movie I've ever seen, I think.
Well, I would say all of Jason's complaints are very Italian.
Oh yeah. That's how I was watching an Italian movie for sure.
It just doesn't feel very Italian.
Right. This is very similar to Demons and, again, Cemetery Man. Cemetery Man, I think, was made in English, or at least, made in the style where everybody's speaking their natural language. When we export it, we'll figure it out then.
Yeah, Cemetery I wouldn't be. Man is the least Italian movie I've ever seen. For sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if this movie does not have an Italian track, though, because it's all spoken in English.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but Ferrari's definitely overdubbed. So
that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that some of these people have slightly different names depending on which country you're watching it in.
Yeah, that's true too.
But this was probably made for the.
But Ferrari is always Ferrari.
It probably.
But anyway, Ferrari tries to offer.
Maybe in Italy he's Ford.
Yeah, probably. Ford versus Ferrari. I get
whichever cut you want there.
No, but he tries to offer money to the killer, and the killer's like, "Nah, I don't want your money," and stabs him.
And then he strings him up so that he swings across the stage.
Yeah,
at the
like
people.
A pendulum.
Yep. Yeah, it's So
now it's kind of Fast and Furious here to bring up family again. The movie's Fast and Furious.
well, we are at an Olive Garden, so
Yes.
So yeah, there's six remaining people, and they decide that they're going to lock themselves in the makeup room.
Yeah,
which is
lights, so that's convenient.
Well, sure, but it also has an itty bitty window in the door.
Yeah,
we'll get there in a minute.
We have Danny and Sybil who are married, or not married, but they're going to have a baby this time.
Oh yeah,
now they think they're going to get famous from this play.
Exactly. Well.
Oh yeah. Who is it that has the baby on the play?
Danny and Sybil.
Danny and Sybil.
Danny is Dollar Store Stain, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And Sybil.
Actually, we call him Gordon.
Gordon.
Yeah.
I got it. So also Danny doesn't want. By the way, Sybil pukes all over the place because she's pregnant.
She's pregos. Yeah.
Yep. And Danny doesn't want her to give up this one.
Right, because they're going to be rich.
They're going to be rich. They're going to be famous.
That's what I just said.
I know. I
son of a. I'm kidding.
Anyway.
Kidding.
So the Peter and Danny decide that they're going to go check for something to defend themselves with. And
nope. They're looking for a skeleton key.
They're looking for the skeleton key, but they find something to defend themselves with.
Yes.
But while they are looking through that office, they hear the shenanigans that are going on back at the makeup room. So there's that itty bitty little window, right? And they're like, I think at this point, like, I think Mark is like looking through the window, or is planning on leaving the room too. And all of a sudden, Irving's arm busts through the itty bitty little window.
Well, he says first, "Help me push."
Yeah. He's trying to get into the room, so he wants all of the other girls that he's protecting to push against the door. Then Irving busts through the window, grabs him, holds him against the door so he can electric drill Slumber Party Massacre style straight through the door. By the way, the whole time he's like, for the love of God, please, Sybil, please stab him with anything that you've got. And she can't. She refuses.
No, she just screams. She just screams.
She's worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
she's a really terrible actress, Sybil, unfortunately. She's bad.
Yeah. She is. Well, right.
Like, there's a stark comparison between her and Peter. And I don't think Peter's a great actor, but he's definitely leagues beyond fucking Sybil.
Well, Sybil is
hilarious.
There. Well, Sybil was the one who was. Sybil is the one dressed as Marilyn Monroe at the beginning, right? And at one point, she just falls down.
Yeah, she's stupid.
She just falls down.
She's almost as stupid as Allie.
But Allie, well, yeah, but she gets smart before the end.
She does something real dumb coming up here in a minute.
Okay.
Completely don't understand.
Okay, so Peter and Danny, they decide when they get back to the room and they see that Mark is fucked now, they decide that
now we need to go to the workshop.
Now we got to leave because we can't just sit here and wait to be picked off. So they go off to the workshop, and now they arm themselves. They got axes, they got hammers, they got a baseball or something. I don't know. They got whatever. They got a flashlight. They got whatever's just hanging around in there. They got like some needles or something and some nails. They're ready to go. So they they go up into they're going to go up. They find that the Irving is in the catwalks above the stage.
He's too sexy for his owl mask. He does his little walk in the catwalk. Yeah. Sorry.
So they go up there. Now,
I'm a killer. You know what I mean? And I do my little walk on the catwalk. On the catwalk. I'm Irving Wallace, and I do. Sorry. Go ahead.
So they go up, and Peter and Danny are like, let's trap him up there. And they're like, yeah, sure. Now, Alicia's still got a bum leg, right? So
she's so stupid.
So she tries to follow up to the catwalk because that's the safest place for somebody who's got a hobbled leg to be walking around on.
Yeah, so she grabs Laurel's ankle and is like,
she's like, hey, wait for me. And Laurel is like, well, fuck you, and kicks her, knocking her out. And like, as far as Laurel knows, she's killed her.
Yeah,
she doesn't fucking care.
She doesn't care.
She's got her
part. Why the fuck is she grabbing her ankle and almost pulling her off the ladder, saying, "Wait for me"? Like, that is so dumb.
Chuck,
I'm sorry.
We're in Italy.
I know we are, but at least
you better save up all of your whys and hows for 2 weeks from now, because I'm telling you, you got a lot of whys and hows in that movie.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah. So they find the Owl Man, and Peter's like. And by the way, Peter's also raging on cocaine too.
Yeah,
several times in this movie, and he's like, "There's that fucker," and he starts axing him to death. And then they're like, "He's tied up. Why is he tied up?"
Hands are tied.
And they take the mask off, and it's
Brett.
It's Brett.
This could have been really cool because I assume Brett is still alive at this point.
Probably.
Right? He's gagged and tied. It'd be better if we knew that, because that'd be kind of a stinger, right?
You fixed it.
Yeah. It would have been a cool stinger if Peter accidentally killed Brett, and it was known. I think he did, but I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
So at this point, Sybil gets pulled through the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Quite well pulled through the floor.
Yeah.
I think there's a grater in the floor, and he just pulled her right through two blades because she comes up in half. Which, by the way, that's a 2-for-1 kill.
What I think happened is he used a chainsaw, but they forgot to use the sound of the chainsaw.
It's possible
because he ends up killing Danny.
Yeah, so Danny's like,
chainsaw.
That's my girlfriend and would have been my baby. And he jumps in after him like he's fucking Rambo or something. He's not Rambo.
With a hammer. He's got a fucking hammer. What is he going to do with that thing?
Well, he's going to try to hammer the guy.
Yeah.
But he gets chainsawed.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah. He's quite dead immediately.
So Peter and Laurel are like, let's get out of here, you know. By the way, nobody asks where Alicia is, to which Laurel would have had to have said, I killed her.
Yeah.
She was holding me up, quite literally. So Peter tries to axe through the metal door. Good job. Maybe do a little bit more cocaine. You'll bust through next time.
Yeah.
Irving
we have
comes
the Keystone
up.
Cops outside, like just doing donuts or whatever the fuck they're doing.
They're reading a book about James Dean.
Yeah, but at one point, one of them gets out of the car and is looking at the front of it while the other one is doing so. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, the car's all fucked up or whatever.
Yeah, the Keystone Cops, basically. These
right. So so Peter is like, oh fuck this, and he throws Laurel at Irving.
It's the best thing he does all movie.
And Irving kind of slices Laurel a little bit, and then Peter's like, "Hey man, you want to be in my play or something?" Whatever he says, and he gets his arm cut off
because he's holding the axe in his arm.
Right.
And he basically says, if you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone, which is extremely stupid.
Stupid, yeah. So far, to the exception of Danny, everybody has left him alone, and he still killed them.
Yeah. Yeah, so he gets his arm cut off, and as he's about to kill him with the chainsaw, it goes out.
Yes, right? It runs out of gas.
Working. Yes. So he picks up the axe, and what does he do, Jeff? Because I'm sure you love it.
Oh, he sliced that fucker's head right off.
Yeah,
cleanly.
Buddy.
Yeah, and it just goes rolling off. It's great. I love it. That head becomes valuable property in the prop department. So we don't know what ended up happening with Laurel. She gets out of there. But Alicia wakes up and she starts noticing that there's a little blood trail that she can follow, and it goes into like the shower room, and she finds Laurel there, you know, bleeding pretty good. But then she also notices or hears that Irving Wallace is also following the little blood trail, and so she hides in the shower next to Laurel.
This is a really cool scene. This is another scene that I think is really cool. Yeah.
This is a very cool scene. And it makes sense because that guy can't see shit through that owl mask.
No, and she's in she's covered herself with a shower. It's very obvious the one stall next to her is super bloody.
Right.
So why would he check there?
Right, exactly.
I don't even know if he knows anyone's left. I don't think he does.
No, I don't think he does either because of what happens after he kills Laurel. He picks her up basically, and Laurel kind of comes to a little bit and sees Alicia over there and is about to say something, and Alicia's like, nope,
don't let him kill you. I want to live.
Yeah, that's for you knocking me off the fucking ladder, you bitch. So he stabs Laurel, kills her, and drags her off. So now Alicia is the unknowing final survivor. And this is the rest of the movie now. Yep. She goes to she needs
Willie's office.
She goes to Willie's office, starts rummaging through his drawer, finds a gun, and she also finds the keys.
I have to say too, I like the fact when she opens the first drawer, everything slides up.
Yeah.
And there's music going, it's kind of loud, and that stuff slides up, and she stops and looks up, and then the film goes silent. Like, there's some adept stuff in this movie. I really like that. Because the Owlman is really into the score that's being used for this play. It might be his old score for his play.
Oh, it could be.
I thought it was music from his play, and he was killing to it.
Well, it is certainly soothing the beast.
Yes, it is a little bit.
So she finds a set of keys and a gun. So she starts making her way to the front door. All of the dead bodies are positioned on the stage as if they're in a scene. The head of Peter right in the center of a desk.
The actors are so great in the scene. They don't even fucking move.
Yeah.
I was like waiting to see someone breathe, and I didn't see anything. I'm like, that's pretty solid.
Soavi probably would like beat them if they breathe.
He probably drugged them, and there's probably some heavies on the side of the stage.
Some heavy doobies?
No, heavies. Heavies. We're talking about the mob here, buddy.
Oh.
Demon.
Oh.
Yeah.
The demon mafia.
The demon mafia.
Yeah.
They all wear the mask from demons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. Anyway, so she starts making for the front door, and she's trying to find the right key. This is a whole keychain of keys.
Yeah.
And so, but right then, just when it seems as though she's about to get to the key eventually, Wallace comes in, and he decides to play a little bit of the music, and he's going to go and sit on the stage with his kills and just hang out with the cat.
Yeah. Him and Lucifer.
Yeah.
It is cool.
Have the feathers started being blown?
Yeah, he comes to the stage, and he puts some feathers on each of the dead people.
Then he moves Peter's head.
He moves Peter's
head, and the cat turns on the fan.
The cat goes up and messes with the plugs. Yeah. And it turns on the fan, and it starts blowing everything. So she needs to go hide. And so she realizes that right in front of him, there's a key sticking out of the floorboards.
The stage floor, yeah.
Yeah. And so she goes under the stage and is trying to get the key, but it's like wedged in.
The side way, the wrong way. She needs to turn it like 90 degrees to get it to fall.
She needs to turn it and then pull it through, which also fucking with the key gets the cat curious.
Yeah.
So, let me see here. So she eventually, so hang on a second, I'm just catching up with my notes here. So anyway, so the music stops just as she's pulling the key through, which of course makes a sound.
Clink.
Clink. It makes a clink. And he realizes, and she tries to get out from under the stage, and he grabs her. But she's got a big ass nail. And
that she was using to wedge the key out. Yeah.
Right. And then she stabs him in the eye with it. Also,
she goes back up to her favorite place.
Yeah.
Well, no, but wait, she tries the gun, and the gun's useless. We'll find out why later.
Well, like 1,001 times, we'll know why.
Yeah, we will definitely know.
You dummy Chuck.
So, anyway, so she goes off up to the catwalk again.
The catwalk.
Yeah, and so
too sexy for the door. Too sexy for the door. I'm going upstairs.
Purchase Chuck Sings at
Right Said Chuck.
Right Said Chuck, his first album coming out on K-Tel album.
I mean, if you don't know this, occasionally I sing on episodes when the fancy strikes me. I do that occasionally. Sometimes I even do the song for like a full month of movies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's the worst thing I've ever done.
No.
So good.
No. But anyway, so she hits him with the fire extinguisher, which causes him to slip off of one of the catwalks. And then he tries, he slipped, or she bashes his fingers with the fire extinguisher. And he is able to grab on to like a cord. And then as he's climbing back up, she begins axing the cord.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of a thing that she would axe the cord.
I almost said something, but I let it go.
What do you plug into, cord? Anyway.
Yeah. Why don't you break, cord?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. So then she eventually gets it when he's almost up to the top, which causes him to fall, and he crashes down on I think what the tape player for the music.
Maybe it's like a pallet with a blanket on it and some other shit.
I don't know. It certainly broke his fall because he's not dead yet.
Not dead yet.
So she dumps a fire that's just hanging out in a can over there on him.
Because they couldn't find candles, so they just lit shit on fire.
Right.
No, that's where the prostitutes hung out, around that can.
That's true. That's true. It's where they get picked up, Jason.
Yeah.
They just leave it
Also, I'm surprised
on the street.
On the street.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Frank Stallone and his pals aren't hanging out by it too.
They're at the avocado farm, dude.
Wow, that's a deep cut. Yep. Anyway, so she burns him alive. The cops. She eventually goes outside, to which the cops are like, "The fuck is going on?"
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, and they take her to the hospital. And then she realizes, wait a minute.
What did she realize, Jason?
She forgot her watch.
Yeah.
Her expensive watch. She's got to go back. She's got to go back and get it.
So she goes back.
What person in the right fucking mind would go back? Seriously. I don't care if I have an expensive watch there. There's no goddamn way. Sorry, go ahead, John.
Well, I would be suing the Ferrari family.
That's what I'd be meaning to her, Chuck, that they just don't bother to tell us.
It doesn't matter.
It's just expensive. She says
the shirt has meaning to me. So what? Anyway, I don't have to tell you shit. Anyway, so so she goes in and she starts counting the number of people that were found.
Well, hold on.
Well, Willie is there to let her in.
Willie lets her in because he'll do anything for this woman he's known for 2 days.
Well, she kind of flirts with him a little bit.
Yeah, she grabs his beard and Willie's like, "Hey, this gun would have shot if you took off the fucking safety. You
dummy.
You didn't even have a bullet in the chamber, but it would have shot for itself."
Right.
I mean, this gun is a cannon. It would shoot for itself if you took off
you would have taken
the safety.
Right,
you would have killed him. I would have shot him. I would have shot him right between the fucking eyes, and I would have taken the safety off.
But you didn't. You're a dummy.
You're such dumb a dummy. Fucking shit. But I'd do anything for you. I'd even take the safety off because you forgot. He goes on for like 7 minutes.
And while
I wrote down, Willie is having a time with this. That's
right. Right. Well, and so she
and she's remembering them say they removed 8 bodies.
Yes, it's in the paper. Willie told her that.
Yeah. Right. The eight people were taken, and so she starts counting everybody, and realizes there were 9. And then here comes
8.
Wallace. No, there was 9. The 9 bodies. 9. There should have been 9 bodies, but 8 were taken out.
She only saw 8. Yeah, 8 taken out. There should have been 9.
Right.
Been 9. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And so, but Willie, he knows what he's talking about with that fucking gun.
Yeah.
Just like he said.
Just like I said, Allie.
Shoot him right between the eyes.
Right between the eyes. Right between the eyes.
Right between the motherfucking eyes.
Right between the eyes.
I took the safety off.
He's just, That's all you need to do. You could have done this.
If you're taking the safety off, you could have done that.
And meanwhile, she's just like, I don't want anything more to do. I found my broken watch. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Because Willie has also lost his brain.
Yeah, Willie's going to kill me next, right between my fucking eyes.
Right between us. He'll do anything for her, including kill her. Right between us.
Yeah. And Fiend. We're done.
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
There's one final surprise.
Marilyn Monroe saxophone.
Well, not even that. The killer smiles and opens his eyes.
That's true. He does.
He didn't get taken care of right between the eyes.
He was shot between the eyes, but maybe he's just smiling that Willie finally did it.
Yeah,
he's finally did what he said he was going to do.
He did what that's all that matters is that you do what he did.
Why the Marilyn Monroe ending? What?
Because we didn't get enough of that.
Yeah.
Although it would have been funny if they gave each actor like their own like little vanity stinger for their cast name or whatever, and hers was when she just falls over for no reason.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
They just cut over to her and she's on the ground. She's like, "Sorry." It's like, you're an idiot, Sybil. I will say, okay, I've got one thing. I've got one thing that I don't understand about this movie. What's the layout of this theater? Because the scenery for the scenes are 360. So is this like an immersive play? Or is it just we've got extra stars and moon and shit? What do we put them on the back wall? Fuck off. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mark or whoever. Just put it up.
It looks like it's staged for filming, not for audience.
Yeah, it's a soundstage. Yeah. So in fact, it's called the Soundstage Massacre, according to Willie.
Yeah, there you go.
So anyway, also, do you know what cats do all the time?
Yowl. I can't remember.
And meow. Yeah, it's constant. That cat meows so much. It's great.
It's almost as a verbal as Willie.
Yeah. And then
not quite. But if it took the safety off the cat, it would have been as verbal.
Right.
But you didn't do that.
That is my last note. Willie loves his gun. He would not shut up about it. You got to take the safety off. That gun will shoot itself. You got to put a bullet in the chamber. You got to take that safety off. That gun is a cannon right between the eyes. And then I said, Willie is missing a few marbles.
He is. He certainly is.
This movie is watchable as all get out in my book. I could have this put on the screen at any time and just let it go. Just let it go and do its thing.
I think it's fun. I will definitely revisit this movie. I don't know if it's one I couldn't get there with you for sure, but I would definitely revisit this movie for sure.
Yeah, but for sure, would you take the safety off?
Sure. I know.
Right between the eyes? Would you watch it right between the eyes?
I'd watch it right between
I'd watch it right between the eyes.
Yeah. In fact, that's the part. I just played that part over and over again until I go insane and kill That's what made fucking Irving Wallace insane, was Willie talking to him.
No, it might have been.
Could have been. Once upon a time, that he was the same guy.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, Irving, if you just take that axe and hit people with it, you'll kill them. But you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that, would you? Would you, Irving?
You're dumb. You're a dummy.
Yeah, there's not much to say about this movie really beyond what happens, and the kills are good. I think those three, the shower scene, the repositioning of everyone on the stage and the feathers flying around, her under the stage, that's all good stuff, I think.
Yeah,
it's kind of few and far between in this movie that.
Well, in a way, this is very similar to Demons. I think that the difference is the Demons had a lot more money to play with. Because Demons is very I mean, it's all in that movie theater, except for the very beginning and the very, very end. It's all in that movie theater. It's just lining people up to be massacred in different ways, except in that you have people getting possessed and they're getting makeup put on them and all of it. And Demons 2 is exactly the same. It's just in an apartment building and people are watching a cursed movie on TV instead of on the theater or on the theater screen. So it's of that kind of like that late stage giallo that was being made in the midst of the more American slashers that were going over there. But it would be, this would have been a movie. If I hadn't seen this, I probably saw it for the first time on Bizarre TV, but if I hadn't seen it, if I had seen this on video when I was a kid, like in 89, 90, 91, like when I was renting everything every weekend, this would have been right up there with Night of the Demons, just watching it all the time, just renting it every chance I got. Because it's just something that I can just turn my brain off for. And I like
Heard that.
You can certainly do that.
I can. I will. I'm gonna.
Before I tell everyone, is it next week? Wait, what's next week? We watch next week's, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else from you, Jason, before we move on?
No. I liked it. It's fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.
Stupid and fun. I agree.
Welcome to Italy.
Yep.
Yeah. It is very Italian in that sense. Next week, we have a far more serious tone of a movie in Knife of Ice. It is the fourth Umberto Lenzi and Carol Baker giallo, the last one they did. Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. I hope that there's some good stuff there from you guys. But we'll see.
I have notes.
Yeah, I figured you would. You told me I'll have to say why and how a lot. So
looking forward to that as well.
Yes. Hey,
but that's week 3. Week 3 in the tour.
That is week 3. By the way, did you guys know that Monster Mondays has a theme going on this month too? And it's week 3 of that month too?
I do know. I think.
Yes. It's a Godzilla Millennium era theme. And it's Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. So
nice.
That is going to happen on Monday before the episode of The Knife of Ice. So you got your appointments right there for Monday afternoon, Wednesday morning. It's the same every
appointment
week.
Listening, baby. Yeah,
exactly. Absolutely. Then on Friday, I've got another theme going on over at B Movie Enema. Do you guys know
what's
what
that,
theme?
Jeff? No, I don't.
It's fucking Andy Sedaris month.
Oh yeah.
And coming up is week number 2 of Andy Sedaris month this Friday morning. Savage Beach. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. They're all fun. It's all just babes and explosions. It's fun. It's good stuff. So
awesome.
Go over to bmovieenema.com. You can read that there. But if you want to know when all of these things are happening on Film Seizure's website, filmseizure.com, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and also on Instagram. Just search for us at Film Seizure. You can also find Film Seizure at several podcast providers, SoundCloud, the Spotify, Audible, Google, Apple. Yeah, you know what it is. Tune in. We're all those places.
Whatever floats
Stitcher.
your podcast.
Yes, whatever floats your podcast boat. So do those things, and yeah.
Until next week.
I'm
not Jeff Arbuckle.
I'm not Chuck Moore.
Well, I am Jason Oliver, and you have been listening to Film Seizure.